Welcome everyone, I'm Dark Hour 717, and today we got some looks at the bomb tech that's going to be coming in with Alpha 3.15. Some interesting peeks at what to expect when it releases to the live universe, or for those who have access to the PTU once Wave 1 comes in. And yes, other announcements were made in the inside Star Citizen that were a bit disappointing, but we're going to be going more in depth into that in this week's State of the Verse, our weekly news and information. So check that out every Sunday. But remember to hit that like and subscribe button, follow on Twitch. We'll be announcing a new giveaway that will be starting after CitizenCon, so keep an eye out for that as we approach October 9th. So today we got a look at some of what can be expected with the launch of the Crusader Hercules A2. Of course, this is the big boom variant of the ship and one that I personally cannot wait to get my hands on. Originally, the A2 was concepted as a bomber that would pack a huge punch with a mix of armament from a Moab, which is mother of all bombs, to an optional cluster bomb armament as well. Not being able to be used at the same time, it's going to be one or the other from the original concepts. What we got a look at today was, of course, the Moab, and it looked absolutely freaking gorgeous. I'll be the first to admit this is something I've really been waiting for with a lot of anticipation, and the ability to just rain down hellfire from high above is one that can't wait to do. I know we have many plans with this new tech in the org, and I'm sure I'm going to end up sacrificing a few of our members. So what we saw was actually really cool. The first implementation is a basic starting point for the tech, starting with a simple UI which will provide a bomb operator mode for the pilot, much like the missile operator mode that we have today. The UI looks fairly simple and user-friendly as far as being able to guide the A2 in for your bombing run. Now eventually, as they discuss, we're going to see that it's going to use that multi-crew capability and a bombardier support seat to be able to use the function. I'm really just hoping that for those of us who are solo pilots or occasionally go solo, that they're going to make it so that in the long run, a solo pilot can operate the bomb operator mode from the pilot seat, and we're not going to lose that functionality as it moves forward. Now in the future, with the bombardier seat, they're going to have a downward-looking camera for sighting. The bombing UI itself looks actually fairly clean and easy to understand. Also, it's going to have the ability to create a reference point on the ground to help guide you in. Now, the reference point is going to be player created to mark where it is that you want the bomb to hit, with a second circle to show what your actual current drop area is. You line them up and it's bombs away. Of course, other physics and outside factors are going to affect the bombs as they drop, and that's going to be things such as wind. So some learning is going to be involved to hone your skills. Now, it'll be interesting to see, and they didn't really address it in the video, as to what the rate of drops are going to be for the Moab, how far out each bomb is going to be spaced, and if there will be a rapid deployment type feature. Of course, in the video, they show the name of the bomb being used as a Colossus, which actually I love that name. It also looked as though the blast radius was going to be very large, which for a Moab, it really should be. It appears to be able to decimate a large area and cause a lot of damage, and for those who are going to be on the outskirts of its blast radius, they're likely going to still receive a large amount of damage. Of course, these are size 10 bombs. Useful against bunkers you may come across through several different missions or when clearing a crime stat. Not that I would know much about that. These are going to be typically useful against the turrets in place, and from the looks of the video in the future, we're going to see more missile turrets at these bunkers as well. With the bomb tech and some skill, though, it looks as though you're going to be able to take these things out from way up high and not even worry about getting a scratch on your paint. Availability of other bomb models and types, of course, was not mentioned, though much like torpedoes, I'm sure we're going to see several different types. When? I don't know, though. Of course, the ones we have heard about are strictly the Moab and the cluster, and I would imagine we'll see different models of each of those in-game, at least especially in the cluster once it comes into the game. I couldn't find any information on the cluster bomb or the cluster launcher on the RSI site or the roadmap, but this obviously is something that's going to come in a later version of the bomb tech. Looking at the original concept for the cluster, this looks as though it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun, though. Watching the video, it looks as though the first iteration of bomb tech is going to be in equal parts of massive fun as well as decimation. And doing some of those high altitude drops are really going to test your skills. Honestly, I couldn't be more excited to see this get into game, get my hands on it, and start bombing every chance I get. I would imagine that we're even going to probably get shots of me standing on the ground watching a bomb fall on my face, so keep an eye out for that. I hope you found the information useful, and don't forget, catch our stream every Wednesday and Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and look for our live stream of CitizenCon as it broadcasts on October 9th. We'll be covering several of the different panels as they happen, and definitely would love to hear your input on them through the chat and what you think about what they're announcing. I want to thank everybody for supporting the channel, and just say everybody be safe out there, and we'll catch you next time.